Meeting on February 4th. Nope, my, sorry, 7th. My watch says the 4th. 9 a.m. to order. Good morning, everybody. Please help yourself to some coffee and donuts. The first thing I wanted to do was acknowledge the email that I received and the rest of the board received from Christine Murphy. So what I want to do is I'm just going to read the question and then give the answer and kind of go through the whole list at first, and then we'll just open for discussion, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, so the first question was, what is the plan for handling wastewater that will come out of the Union building? That question, I am waiting for a further response from Mike Ferreira. So I do not have that answer at this time. But I have sent an email to him, and hopefully I'll hear back on Monday. So I will get back to you on that one. The next question is, how much did Marquette pay to purchase the property? That answer is nothing. That was part of the mediation of the property deal. And if there's any further questions on that, I'm going to have to refer you to Manager Rebus to answer more of those. When does Marquette plan to begin union construction? The request for posting flexible timeline of construction activities on Village and Marquette websites, obviously and understandably subject to change and revision. We just did the groundbreaking the other day, ceremony, so I'm not sure when they're exactly gonna start. That would be a question better answered by Michelle House, Manager Rebus, and Director Guerrero. So I can only answer the part that we did do the groundbreaking ceremony the other day. I know that they want to start as soon as possible, but I'll get more information on that as it comes to me. If there's anything you want to add that you know of, just jump in. Okay. Recently, an ordinance was passed restricting residents from acting on more than one commission. Discussion has subsequently surfaced regarding appointing an identified resident onto both a festival commission and the fun commission. The issue has been identified and potential resolutions to this concern are speculatively being addressed. Discussions appear to be underway to make Villa Fest a committee under the fun commission. This topic is actually on Monday's agenda. So if you guys have comments or anything you want to discuss as far as that goes, to my knowledge, it was discussed at the last Fun Commission meeting that they were going to give that recommendation to the board, which is coming to us on Monday. That's all I know on that. There did not appear to be a timely function process in place to facilitate 2026 rec center renewals. A resident went in to renew their membership during November-December timeframe. They were told by staff that no formal conclusions had been shared yet regarding 26's rates. Resident renewal was deferred and followed up for mid to late December, quoting the same rates as 25. The comment was that renewal process should be clarified and operational in early to mid fourth quarter. I agree. I think that got a little bit of confusion because of the staff turnover that's going on over there. I did send an email to Director Howe, who is director over there, to let him know that can we please, be more on the ball with that. Observation made that commissions do not appear to be focused on operational business aspects of the village or applicable departments. Example given was Parks and Rec Commission discussing murals and baseball fields, etc. As opposed to membership renewals, 5-year break-even plan, revenue generation, etc. Other commissions, including the Growth Commission, discussing implementation of handbooks and other tangibles that already exist. Lack of new commissioner awareness, should have retained at least one previous commissioner to facilitate topic continuity and avoid redundance and wasted time. Commissioner conflicts prioritizing self-interests, including rec center programming and VP baseball. The commissions are not part of operations. They're there to advise and recommend to the board. They can't dictate to staff what they can and can't do. They can only work with them. And then I was told to direct any further questions on that to the president. Resident requests for synopsis of each commission's activities, goals, objectives, and timelines on one page, accessible and updated monthly. We do the YouTube, and then there's the agendas that are always posted, and then the minutes should be posted as well. So that is pretty much as far as that's gonna go. Resident request for economic interest statements to be filed and made mandatory for all commissioners. We're gonna be following the state mandated rule. So the commissions that are gonna have to do that are gonna be the Fund Commission, Sugar Creek, the Plan Commission, Fire and Police, and then the Fire Pension, the Police Pension, and the board members. Other than that, the other commissioners are not required to do so per state. These are just the answers I was given to give to everybody. So just bear with me. I don't wanna seem cold as I'm reading them, but I'm just reading what was written. Resident access to Civic Plus app no longer accessible. Comment was made that access was determined to be cost prohibitive and subsequently, I cannot say that word for some reason, discontinued, $12K per month question mark. That website, that information was it's kind of redundant because we do the same thing on the website. So to my knowledge, that's why that was discontinued. It was the same thing as what's currently on the website and to pay the same money for two different options. I do know that I think Cheryl had said to me that there's
different modules.
different modules that are included on that, so that's all I have on that. I don't know very much about it.
Different modules on the village website, is that what you're talking about, Sharon?
So basically, Brian Sawyer is in charge of like the IT. So if you have any questions about, the modules for the subscriptions that we have, because there's subscriptions, and usually you have yearly subscriptions to certain modules, or and basically there's updating that they do, that some modules do that it's part of a subscription with Civic Plus. And Civic Plus is the company that we use that does our website. So in other words, like when we do the agendas, that's a service that we go through Civic Plus. And there's a lot of them. There's other companies, but Civic Plus is who we have. If you have any questions, you can certainly forward them to the email address and at the village or Manager Rivas, and we can certainly get answers to any questions you may have. Okay?
These are questions that came up at the meeting for the last month. So these are all village people and residents in the village that asked the question. Christine is bringing out, trying to get answers.
Right. I tried to get the best answers I could for today because I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged the email that was sent.
Let's finish those questions
Yeah,
first, and then we will come to question and answer. No problem. Thank you.
70,000 / 7,000 per month recently approved to pay contractor to bring in new businesses. No metric, measurements, or terms on current contract. Should be paid for per performance. Status reports requested on actions and results on a monthly basis. What is being done to give incentives to existing businesses to remain in Villa Park? The answer I was told to give is concerning that question would be to either email President Patrick, Manager Rivas, or Director House. They would have more information on that. Resident identified that formal training is available for planning and zoning. All commissioners should be mandated to attend this training. Training should be compensated by the village. They did have training. The ZBA had a class on November 5th, 2025, and President Patrick and Deputy Alfano held 2 commission meetings and training, and also OMA training as well. Have all staff employees currently involved with fulfilling FOIA information, have they all successfully completed state certificate to be FOIA's officers? The answer for Cheryl is yes. I have not heard back from Dan McCann as of yet. Next question. Adjudication expenses do not appear to be documented in the 26 budget. Where does the collected money go? I got with Susie, our finance director, on this and got a direct answer. They are in the budget. The expenses are located in the budget under 10-110-521102, which is legal services for police. The fine money goes into Fund 10-000-442050, which is the police fines. Number of days on emergency funds on hand should be documented and updated monthly on all financial reports. Again, this is a topic I talked with Director Mika on, and she said she apologizes. She thought that those they are listed on the cash flow analyst that's given to the trustees. She thought that it was also on the one that is posted for the residents. Realizing it is not, she will correct that for you from this point on. Please let me know too if you don't see that correction being done so I can get back with her and staff. The last one is facilitate an ordinance change to have the finance director reported directly to the board. This answer, I was told that the reason why we do not practice this is because we are considered a strong managerial form of government in Villa Park. So those are the answers I have that I was given to give out the information. My request is if the answers, if you want further information, obviously the direction is to get in touch with Manager Rivas or President Patrick. I would suggest just maybe making a sit down with Manager Rivas and going in and sitting down with them and going over questions. The ones that I didn't have anything to say other than I'm waiting for an answer, I will get information on that and then I will email Christine back so that way she has that information for you guys.
So, you're done?
Yeah, I'm done, so I'm gonna pass it over to Cal.
So these questions were pretty much, those concerns were brought up in the last coffee without the board. Some of the residents, they could not make it because we ended up canceling some of those meetings prior. We're going to change, in this meeting we're going to change a little bit, so now we have the answers and questions from the previous meetings which we did not attend it. We also have few residents here that they brought some concerns about the issue we have, especially by the train station, the rodent infection. So there is a email, not email, that we have an internal email that we want to read this quickly about that the management was put out. So what we're going to say is, especially Brittany, thank you for coming out and bringing out your concerns at the board meeting. We have taken not only your concerns, there are some other residents, they also brought their concerns, but they did not come to the board. We have those emails, and personally I have discussed that with Manager Rivas. What he has done is, we had a staff meeting, and from that staff meeting, very next day, the proper appropriate action were taken, and we will let you know what they are. And here she is. Yeah.
So the email says, on January 26, 2026, we had Village Park residents come to the village board meeting and state during public comments that there is a serious rat infestation on the north side of the village. I have had others come forward to talk about the same issue. We were given pictures and videos of the numerous rats. The only thing I could think about was 70s horror movie, Willard and Ben. We'll have to be aggressive and swift with our public information and actions to make sure the problem does not become greater than we can handle. This week, village staff held a meeting to go over everyone's role in combating the rat problem. First, our communications specialist posted on social media and on our village website very informative, detailed information on how we could all do our part to combat the rat infestation problem. The village park fire department will correspond with the county health department and the county emergency management agencies for any additional resources or information. Public Works Department will reach out to all multi-unit buildings with dumpsters to make sure they are all using our garbage vendors LRS so we can have better responsiveness and accountability. We will also make sure that if additional garbage pickups are necessary, we will hold the building owners accountable. Our code enforcement officers in the Community and Economic Development Department will enforce all health and sanitary violations for accesses, overflowing garbage, and abandoned vehicles. The police department will handle all abandoned or inoperable vehicles that become a breeding ground for rat infestation. Our village engineers will create a heat map to show locations of garbage bins with an overlay of rat infestation reports. The village park department will ensure the public areas around the train station will be kept clean and tight. Parks will also look at possible environmentally safe substances to combat the rats. We are also bringing in a local pest control service to consult with us on our approach. Why go to all this trouble, you may ask? Rat infestations is a serious problem that poses health risks and impacts communities' well-being. Rats are attracted to areas with abundant food sources, water, and shelter. Common contribution factors include overflowing garbage bins, improper disposal of food waste, and neglected properties with overgrown vegetation or clutter. Construction projects and sewer system disturbances can also displace rodents, pushing them into residential neighborhoods. Rats are carriers of diseases, and then he names them. I'm not going to repeat them. This presence can contaminate food supplies and damage property by gnawing on wires, insulation, and structural components, creating fire hazards and costly repairs. By combining protective community engagement, strict sanitation practices, and professional intervention, Villa Park can significantly reduce rat populations and prevent future outbreaks. We sincerely hope all will join us in our fight against this community problem. The only thing I have to add to this is I did receive a call from a resident / friend of mine, and she did tell me she did see a couple of rats over at the Hawthorne gated land. She also said, though, people are throwing their trash over the fence, which is contributing to the rat infestation over there. Because this is not our land, it's not as simple for Villa Park to just say, all right, we're gonna go over the fence and clean it up, and you know what I mean? We can't do that. So we also need to make aware to the residents, there's a bunch of cans over there, there's dumpsters, please, you know, I know we don't wanna look at that. I live over there, trust me, I'm just a few blocks away, I look at it all day, every day. But I don't want the issue to become worse because people are angry or for whatever reason we're throwing trash over the fence. That's not gonna solve that problem. You know, it's just obviously making the problem worse for the residents here. So I think we kind of need to also spread the word, like, to contain, you know, let's not do that. Let's not contribute to the problem, let's try to solve it. So that's all I have to add to that.
Okay, now, with this, serious issues, whatever Christy Murphy and also Sarah Tucker, you guys brought up in the last meeting, we're gonna turn this into a regular meeting now, not like we sitting at the podium and talking to you guys. I don't like this, so I'm gonna get up from here, I'm gonna come and sit with you guys and ask questions and answer questions, whatever you have, rather than sitting here. We are not I don't know how you feel, we are not this is supposed to be a very casual meeting, okay? I don't like sitting there and discussing, so I'm gonna sit right here, you ask me questions, whatever you have, and we're gonna answer whatever the best we have. Jim, thank you for coming.
Sure, you got it.
Brittany, thank you again, I will forward you the email, whatever email that, a proper information that it concerns you. I know you send me so many emails. And I have forwarded every single email to the proper department. And your concern was very valid, and not only yours, I'm facing the same thing, and I brought that attention to the village manager and to the staff. And you can see that very next day, we took the appropriate action, and we are in the process of taking care of it. Jim, again, Jim is my neighbor, he's been a neighbor for a long time, and he's been asking me about these issues and some other concerns, so.
The rats started when they knocked down those buildings, by the way. That's when that problem started.
Yes.
Yeah, when they knocked down those buildings, that's when we noticed it. We own a property at 327 Ardmore, which is just 2 buildings down. But I anticipate you guys handling that.
Yes,
And
and
kind of have one at a time though, so we can get everybody's feedback, because then that way we can hear.
Concerning the rats, I noticed that you said because it's not our property, but if that property is creating something that is very, very harmful to this community,
Correct.
there has to be a way that we can address it and take care of it. And that sounds like it's something that our legal department
Correct.
has to figure out, because they're causing a problem to the health of this community. Somebody needs to be
We
held
are
accountable.
sending, Attorney Ryan a message to include that on the other processes that are being
Yeah.
taken on that property.
with that, if I may, you can see that sooner, thank you, sooner we notice that, residents are, see, we cannot be everywhere, as you know.
No, I know that.
So what we did is, the very next day, the meeting was called, and all the department who they're supposed to take care of it, they are in motion right now. They are, we reached out to, maybe a different kind of a bait system, whatever they use in Chicago. They're really looking into very heavily. So even though that it is, that particular property is an issue, okay, and I live just across the street from the other side of the train track. If they don't clean it, we will make sure that it will be clean, and whatever the bill is, that it will be given to the property owner. So it's not like, okay, well, you go ahead and take care of it. No, we're gonna take swift action.
I appreciate that, because that scares the daylights out of me.
Well, and unfortunately, rats burrow. They have, like where they live underground. When they seek shelter in the winter, especially because they don't typically live in homes usually unless they can get in, is they burrow underground to stay warm, especially in sub-zero temperatures like what we've been experiencing. So I can tell you, if we unearthed that mound, we would have so many freaking rats. Right, they're living in under that mound, and so if we unearthed that giant hill, that's their home. They live there. And so I know we don't own that land, but then they need to eradicate the rats. They can't just take down all the buildings and all those businesses and be like, oh, well, now we brought you a rat problem, so enjoy. Because now we have to, now Village Park has to pay to fix it. It's not, and that's fun. So I know the rats live under that mound of dirt. It's, yeah.
Will they come out when the weather
Yes.
gets warmer?
So they just live there. But yeah, they'll come out.
Well, they're resident too, they
They're resident.
they gotta live there too, I'm just,
Yeah, do they pay taxes on it?
But I do appreciate your swift. I do appreciate how hard you guys have been working, and I didn't realize until you guys have been posting on Facebook. Obviously, a lot of people have been experiencing this. And comment, I didn't, but obviously people have been quiet about it because now everyone's really commenting.
no, it's,
Rat front.
yeah, you brought a few other concerns which also we're looking into it. Before, I think she had a question, so we will, rat issue, I think we covered, we're gonna.
One question, can they put gas down there to kill them before they?
Well,
I don't,
we have a professional local, pest control fellow who knows what he's doing, we are talking to him, plus or whatever Chicago did. We don't wanna gas anybody, okay, then we'll have a different. So yeah, no, we are aware of it, and really we are taking the appropriate
The
approach.
headline.
Even the health department.
First gas is residents.
There you go. Yeah, we don't want
Birth
different
control
issues.
pill.
So yeah, we'll look into it. All the concerns are really taken care of. You have.
We can jokingly bring the coyotes in, they're supposed to take care
Hey,
of
I
it.
can show you, I have cameras in front of my house, I can show you coyotes, fox, reds, you name it, we
But then you'll have
have,
another problem.
Yeah.
If you brought the coyotes in to take care of that
Yes.
problem, then you'd have another problem.
because they're traveling, they're not only there, they're coming from different suburbs, the rats are using a train track, basically, and they just go along, and then they come out and whatever. So we have, this is not only that particular area, we have other issues that we are looking into it. Yeah, go ahead.
Concerning that property, what is in that property?
I didn't hear the question.
She's asking about the Hawthorne development property,
Well,
you want to address
the
that?
only answer that we can give on that currently right now is that it is litigation, correct, and that's all we can say.
The what?
What?
A litigation. It's illegal.
Oh.
It's not a litigation, they have done certain things.
Today is Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, I'm sorry, Damien Hawthorne. So, as you know, that they applied for their first application was expired, so they have a new application in process.
With a different, developer?
The Hawthorne development, yes.
It is still a
It
same
is,
owner.
it is the same developer, they have a new application in process, which is the zoning board of appeal is reviewing it, they have some questions and concerns. They have not finished, fairness to everybody, they have not finished their process yet to come forward to the board. So sooner we have more information, so it has to be cleared through them first. So it is in process, whatever the issue is with that particular lot, whatever is going on, we are not in a liberty to tell you some of those things here, but sooner it will come in front of the board and we will know. The legal department is looking into all of that.
Can you say if there's a deadline for them?
Do we have a deadline on that?
I
Here's the
don't-
thing. Yeah,
I don't think there's a deadline,
Yeah.
it's already gone through zoning,
Mhm.
each year, and it was recommended, and now it's back with staff. I think their next steps are they have to fulfill whatever documentation staff is requesting from them, over in Director House's area. They also, the biggest thing they need to do is come up with proof of financing, which seems to be the step that's always, what does it move forward?
right.
That's why I asked in the process of that as well, Villa Park is doing everything we possibly can to get a solution for that, and that's kind of the only thing I can say at this point about that. Understand that the only reason we can't share it right now is because it's a legal situation. As it gets then rectified, that information will all come out to the residents after. So
We don't have the final answer yet because the legal is still looking into it. That answer? Okay.
Two quick questions. Over on Villa in Wildwood, they have put up a big sign that says, you know, the union coming soon, blah, blah, blah. They have put the sign right at the corner, so when you're going east on Wildwood,
yeah,
you cannot see the traffic.
I've seen
Sign just needs to be moved down,
I
so
got you. I was coming out of there and I was like, yeah.
I can't see,
Can't see
right,
it.
so
It's very
that's
okay.
the first thing. The second thing is, I'd love to know why the lights are left on in here all night, couple times a week. I go through the Jewel parking lot at 4:45 every morning. And at least a couple days a week, the lights are blazing. So somebody needs to be in charge of making sure the lights are turned on.
A lot of times there's commission meetings going on.
At 4:45 in the
Early in the
morning,
morning, I was taking notes on that. I
Not
just
at midnight.
I may have the answer for that. I think our cleaning service,
Yeah,
they
she's
come
here
very
early.
late.
Yes,
So that's the time they
that is
come
true.
on.
okay.
Yeah, so it's not a, they're
I
not
mean,
on.
it's just concerning, I'm thinking, well, if we're leaving the lights on all night,
Motel 6, what's wrong with you? For the rats. No, I'm just kidding.
The rats.
Yeah, I hear your concern, and
Oh, okay.
I'm the same way, sometimes.
I didn't know about the cleaning crew coming
Yeah,
that
they
early
come
in the
very
morning,
late.
which makes sense.
Yeah, which, they come very late, before the staff comes through.
Yeah,
They cannot be here when the commission meetings are going on and so
Sure.
forth, and so that could be one of the reasons, but
okay,
it's a point well taken.
okay.
You might wanna check to make sure that's what's
You know, what
happening.
we should do is get the motion sensors on there.
Oh, yeah.
Midnight to 4
shop.
AM is a long period
Yeah.
for cleaning crew to be cleaning this room only.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, all
It's-
these
it's
lights
the whole
have to be
building.
changed.
So it's the
All
whole
these
building.
lights have to be
when they
changed
come in and
because
do the
they're
cleaning.
fluorescent tubes. They're
That's
not
why
selling
they're-
fluorescent tubes after a certain time. When that gets changed, then you can throw a
Right,
motion
that's
sensor in.
That's that program that ComEd has, where they can come in, they change the
Right.
internal, and then they put the motion sensor on. I have them at my
Right.
shop, they're fantastic.
Because I doubt if anybody
Yeah.
can sit still during a board meeting, they won't go out.
Right, exactly.
Right.
There is if I may address your question here. Yes, I was reviewing some of these correspondence that we get from Manager Rivas. I believe there are not only inside lights, there are some outside lights as well in the building. They're not working properly, maybe they're off. So yes, this summer, I believe don't quote me when, because then it goes to micromanagement that we're looking at 2 weeks. I mean, I've been told that, yeah, we do some of those things, but at the same time, so you know, it is in works. So they're looking at outside lights as well. There's a paint missing outside, and there are a few things that it need to be addressed. Again, you know, this is our house.
And one really quick question, I had sent in a email because I have a dead tree on my parkway. They came out, they marked it with a big pink X. That was like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I had sent a second email saying, hey guys, because now the tree is starting to lean. So,
What's the
I don't,
address?
what?
What's your address?
50 South Charles, corner of Charles and Wildwood. And I mean, do I just keep sending emails or is there another way to go about it?
No, there is another way of going about it. So this is what, I'm gonna come to you, sir, in a minute. Yeah.
I'm here all morning.
No, I'm not leaving.
You'll be the only
I'm
one.
not leaving till I answer all your questions. So mind you that we have canceled few meetings in the past, so we're gonna make up for all that. So don't worry. I mean,
Be here tomorrow?
I'm sorry?
You be here tomorrow?
I will be,
Don't
actually,
let
if
somebody
you need to be, I will be here tomorrow. Believe me, yeah.
Super
Well,
Bowl
we-
tomorrow.
yeah.
I find that the fastest way for me personally to get anything accomplished, and it sounds kind of bad, but I'll use my husband's email, because I don't want to use mine, you know what I mean, even though we have the same last names, it's not as standing out. I don't want it to seem like anything is special, you know,
So
like,
they're
oh, yeah,
right.
I
Nor
must
does
have
the woman.
asking for some.
Good for
No,
you.
what I'm saying is, I don't want any staff member to be like, oh, a trustee is asking for a tree to come down, you better get over there and do it now. I don't want special treatment. But I use, believe it or not, the request form on the website, and I find when I do that, I get results very quick.
But I did
If I
that
call-
in the beginning.
If I call the village, I can call 20 times, you know,
I've
so.
seen it effective that the trustees send an email, it gets done, and I've seen it happen, and I think that's the way it should be. I mean, if somebody said, like, if you send in one, I guarantee you her tree will be cut down by next week.
Oh, I will say, that's
And
why
I
I
don't think
asked
it's wrong
for
for you to have
the,
to do that, because sometimes that's what it takes.
What if it just
I know.
kind of just
I know.
blows up?
I think that's the way that doesn't happen.
I'm just concerned it's gonna come down, it's gonna take
Right,
electrical
in a
wires
storm
with
or-
it.
Right, I got you, in a storm, I will make sure that I put not only a request in, I'll come in and speak to somebody. to
Thank
see
you
what's
so
on
much.
it. I mean, understand it's freezing cold out right now.
Oh,
so
I know,
might
right
have
now
to
it's
wait
freezing
till
cold, I get that.
But I have their address.
Get a hold of it.
Do one thing, like Trustee Gonzalo said, go ahead and fill out that form, that's very important on the website. If you don't get the answer, send me an email.
Right.
Directly.
That's the way it's gotta work.
Send me,
Thank
yes,
you.
then send me an email, not only to me,
Yeah.
If you think that I'm not answering your email, but I don't answer them right away, but I do.
You will.
But I
know you
do
will.
answer. I do answer those emails, even
You
though
can send
sometime
one to
after
me.
midnight.
Thank you.
What
I
you
try to
do,
answer
what you do, yes, she does right away.
Right away.
She's on top of everything. So your concern will come to us, your concern will come to us directly. And then I will forward that to the appropriate, they have to answer me. If it's not, I follow up then. What the answer is, so
It
it comes
comes
to me.
down to me.
So this is good. Yes, sir.
I have three things, two comments on something we're into. That Hawthorne development, that's been going on for 20 years, that property over there. I wish you luck, you know?
That was Golden,
Golden Spire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a disaster from the beginning, 20 years ago.
If I may add to that, so I will tell you that I used to have a business there. The hearing aid office at the corner.
What?
Yes. Yeah, that back in '94, that was, there was another business right next to it. I opened up that office as a hearing aid repair service center for our local businesses, our local towns.
Then the square.
We did good. We microelectronics, if you remember, there was a sign
Oh,
on
yeah.
top of that. So that was in '94, and then that particular building was purchased, and then they picked up a lot more afterward. So yes, I hear you. That has been going on for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah, Joyce DePietro was the president when that started.
Correct,
Oh,
correct. And then you were, and then yeah, and then
We just
yeah,
got the internet, remember that?
yeah. So '94, guys. I mean, that's a long time. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So yes, we are really. I personally have reached out to the developer, say, hey, what's going on? Because it is an issue. Okay, at 21, 22, and they crushed all those stones and made a big pile.
Yeah.
I remember there was. I mean, things do sometimes fall apart. For financing or for something else, whatever have you. We are on top of it.
Well,
If
I
I
don't think
may-
the board should not get any criticism on this. It's all the
I
developer.
appreciate
Yes, from the yes. So
If I may, when we had the last zoning meeting, and I know Vicky was there, after everybody had left, Dr. Vish's attorney was there, I was there, and Jason Jarrett was there. We were the last three to leave. And, the attorney had said, thanks for coming to the meeting and showing some support from the board, and I says, listen, let me just give you some advice. I said, do not, I cannot emphasize the two words, do not, more than I'm trying to. Come to the board unless you have something or somebody from a bank saying, the funds are here, they're waiting to be transferred into Dr. Vish's account. I said, because you will get nowhere with us. This is the biggest part. He said, well, Dr. Vish claims he has. I said, Dr. Vish has been claiming for years he has this money. I'm telling you, don't waste your time, don't waste our time. If you don't have that money locked, stock, and sealed, it's not happening. I said, so don't come to us like 3, 4, 5 times. I said, it's horrible. Just nip it now, get the funds, and come in and let's get this done, or let's not.
Once you emanate the domain and property, take it away from them.
That's tough. It's a lot harder than what you think.
Yeah.
Much easier if we find bones. They're ancient Indian burial ground. Now it's safe.
We
Go ahead
cannot
and try
speak
it.
about anything
Well, see, some-
that's going on in the process right now.
See, some of the things we cannot discuss. We cannot. Yeah, as you know, you were at the other side one time. So, yes, when time comes, you will have the resident will have all the answers.
I have a couple comments for everyone here regarding the site that we're discussing. The first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jim Skinges, and I own a multifamily property just south of the tracks on Ardmore. The number one issue with the property that's being developed is the financing, as mentioned. However, I do know if it is the same developer, they do have other projects they've done with HUD. So the most likely path to this thing being built will be with HUD. Ancient burial ground, sorry, that usually gets checked that's done early on in the process. I know, but there is a path to that being built through HUD. So most likely, because I've talked to other developers and it's been passed on, I know apartment building developers that called and said, no, we're not gonna take on this project because the ROI, the numbers don't work out for it.
I believe too that he's also, and don't quote me 100% on it, I've been told that he is also asking for further things from the village, and the village is like, we're not giving.
Well, he's probably asking for tips or whatever it is,
Correct.
I'm sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we are not going to be in a position to do any of that. So this is why this topic is just very, you know what I mean? So we're doing all we can as a village currently right now, to take care of this issue in whatever means we have available to do so.
My second concern is, since we've owned these buildings since the 1980s, there has been an increased visibility of people going to the train station, cutting through our properties, basically selling drugs. We've noticed it now for the past 5 to 6 years. We've been in contact with the police department. There's been several investigations that have yielded nothing. The main concern I have is it seems every spring these problems arise again, and I'm here today because at this point we're going to have to make a considerable investment in cameras, which are very expensive for our building. Our tenants have low rent. We've owned the building for several years. We'd like to keep the same tenants in the building, but I do know over the past 3 or 4 years we've caught people in our building, meeting people outside selling drugs. I've caught people behind our building with cars coming behind meeting people. There's a house next to us that seems to be an issue. The police are investigating it actively, however, it's been very, very slow. With the recent FBI activity in Villa Park, I'd hope that people are actually seeing now there is actually an active problem here. I'm not sure if residents notice it, but me being there almost every week at certain times of the night, certain times of the day even, there have been people cutting through the tracks in or through our building. So I do also want to suggest possibly a fence along the between Ardmore and would be, is that
Cornell. Yeah.
That would stop some of that people cutting through. But I can tell you 2 months ago or 3 months ago, the police chased a car into our parking lot and they threw a gun, or they had a gun on them, and it just turned out, I don't know where these people were from, they never caught them. But there is an issue with, I think, most likely from the city. People are migrating from the city into Villa Park, doing nefarious things. I hate to say it. And the train station seems to be a very popular place they like to congregate at. But compared to other stations, I feel Villa Park has the biggest problem. I don't see that problem in Elmhurst as much. Not that I don't live in Elmhurst or Glen Ellen or Wheaton. It seems that Villa Park here, we have a lot of issues with things going at the train
Once we
station.
get that, that's the main reason for wanting so much to get that area developed.
Correct.
You know?
I agree 100%.
People come through on the train and they're like, whoa, you know, they're going through other areas and then they hit our area and they're like, yeah, so, yeah. I hear everything you're saying.
Both Glen Ellen and Wheaton have a lot of development around the
Let me,
train stations.
let's finish this. We don't want to look at that. Go ahead.
No, it's all, I mean, my main concern is, like I said, just the amount of people that are doing things. And again, I know that unfortunately, I don't want to get to the, down the rabbit hole of you know, the marijuana being legalized causing a bigger problem, because the police have told me that unfortunately, unless they know exactly what's going on, it's very difficult for them to stop it. Because of the laws of Safety Act, because of the marijuana legalization, because of the lack of, obviously Villa Park is other departments have a lack of staff because there's just a lack of police right now. So I understand the reasons, but we've found that I've been having to take a lot of these issues in my own hands. In other words, I'm policing my own property, which I shouldn't be doing. You know, I'm chasing people out of our property. The neighbors there, at least the house, I believe it's an issue. They all know me, so when they see me, they don't come around. But it is an ongoing issue. For me to install cameras, it's a significant investment, over $10,000, which I'm going to have to make this spring because it hasn't gotten better over the past 5 years.
That's why you buy this.
I don't want to.
I own a building also. I chase them out of our lots all the time.
Yeah, but I don't want.
I
don't want to be. I don't want to do that. For me, I don't want to put myself at risk.
It's a rush.
Yeah. I prefer to handle it this way. You know.
Jim, if I may.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come to you in a second. if I may. May 19th, the day I took this position here. And my first thing was that we were going to IML meeting. And while I was at the train station, I reached out to Manager Rivas. I said, Manager Rivas, we have an issue here.
Right.
The issue was that exactly what you're saying, that people are cutting through. There was a lot of garbage in that area. Okay, garbage attracts a lot of things, not only the rats.
Correct.
We have other homeless.
Correct.
And some of these other people. And believe me, I found couches there. I found furniture there, hidden between those bushes. So that the IML meeting was on Wednesday. Thursday morning, people were there cutting those bushes.
Yes, they
if you
were,
remember
so,
that.
yeah.
They spent, yes, huh?
What does that stand for? ILM.
Illinois
It's Illinois Municipality, so we.
League.
All of municipalities show up for training on like OMA, different ordinances.
That's what I found out.
To educate ourselves, so we can serve you better with the proper information. So that was the thing. So it took about 7 days. They could not cut out the entire thing, 4 hour, whatever, 7 days they cleaned up. Next concern was that what's going on there, that we need to really take care of the other issues that people are cutting across. As you know, last week, a few days ago, the other day, we had an accident at that location, and one of the pedestrian, he was hit by the train, and unfortunately that after they're trying, they took him to the hospital and everything, and he passed away. So based on what we saw, I reached out to Manager Rivas, and matter of fact, we have installed cameras there. We have plenty of cameras that they are being watched 24/7. All that parking lot that you're talking about, they're throwing garbage on the other side, those people could be monitored, that who's throwing the garbage and so forth. So those, it took a little longer because the wiring system was not properly configured, so they have to buy new switches and a new thing that now the police is monitoring. You don't have to install 100% $10,000 investment from your side. So the cameras are there. They are monitoring the north side and the south side of the area.
Do they have the lights on top of them like they do at some other parts of the?
I am not sure, but it was a well thought out process that I stayed on top of it. So as of December, those cameras are all live. Police can watch sitting in their train, and all the train activities are being watched and recorded. So you should have a little bit of ease of that. The second thing is, I know what you're talking about. I live right behind from your building.
Right.
Okay, and when we have two homes there, yes, there's an issue, and believe me, I did discuss with the detective. They are looking into certain things, whatever. I cannot.
Right, we can't disclose it, sure,
disclose.
right.
Do you have no trespassing signs?
So,
Yeah.
I do, and unfortunately, the Safety Act does not allow trespassing. It's no more than a ticket right now. So remember, the Safety Act has taken back a lot of these things so it's no longer, trespassing is not enforceable unless it's criminal, an active criminal, something happened actively, they can enforce it. It's a ticket. So even if I report it, if I go to the police, I call the police, it's a ticket.
Right.
So it's not gonna stop me.
It takes a lot longer. The fencing, we discussed that.
Okay, good.
We are, believe me, I'm just saying it for myself. Whatever send me an email.
Sure. I'll send
Whatever
it.
concern you have,
Right.
and if I may be able to address those to you directly, if it's not, then I will properly tell you what the proper step should be. But yes, the fencing is in a process. We even discussed that it should be a nice fencing that we can advertise our local businesses, so when people are taking the train, rather than looking at the trash, they will be looking at certain things. I know I took pictures of different towns,
Yeah.
and I have forwarded and I shared that information with my colleagues and.
Unfortunately, I probably will still have to put up cameras. I imagine what's gonna happen is, once they notice the cameras or the train station, they may push them further into our property. That's the issue, because they'll move into our parking lot.
I have a business, near the other tracks, further down by the bridge.
Villa, right?
Yeah, No, I'm off of Ardmore, but I'm down at the tracks
Okay, got it.
towards North Avenue.
Okay,
And we get, everybody walks from the tracks down our street, you know, that where our business is now on. And we've all put cameras out there as well. I could honestly say put cameras, I don't know that you need to go $10,000 worth. I myself have like, Ring or Blink cameras and they work just fine for me. So I didn't wanna spend 10,000, that's one thing. The only other thing I wanna say is, we all have to kind of keep in mind, as we discuss like a fence here, or this there, or that there, we all have to keep in mind, like, everything requires budget. And right now, unfortunately, you know, like, our budget is like in a deficit, you know what I mean? And so, we're gonna be re-looking at the budget and revisiting that in March, and finding ways to cut that down. So, for the next year, we may have to be stingy and say like, you know, although this is important, like we just can't do that right now. I just want everybody to know that because everybody's always so quick to say like, why don't you do this? And why aren't they fixing that? And why don't they paint Village Hall? And everything requires money, you know what I mean? And there's only so much of it.
Wow.
And, you know, we're trying to spread it as best as we can, but we're also trying to cut back as much as we can. And the board is very aware of that, and we are being very strict with making sure that there's gonna be some cuts coming to take care of that.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so you should let me talk earlier, I only get one thing, now I get two.
That's okay.
Uh-oh.
I got a whole list, but I'll keep it to
Meeting is
this.
over because she has 2 questions now.
Okay, well,
He said he's gonna stay to the end.
so much Christmas.
Don't interrupt her, she'll forget the question.
With respect, yeah, that's easy to do. Two things, number one, with respect to the budget, I'm not gonna go off on that, I could, but I choose not to. I do encourage all the residents to review the bill listings. I have to say, as a trustee, that was not a huge area of focus for me because I felt very confident in the financial people that we had hired. And I would like to see that come to fruition again because personally, I don't think you can expect the trustees to be totally educated in every area of our business. That's why it is absolutely critical that we've got the right HR person in there.
Amen.
And don't get me started on this because
Well, I think that it's more so the right financial person, and I can tell you that I have.
the HR person hires our staff.
I have first-handed been all over the building. I was like you, at first I was like, I trust staff, you know, whatever. Now, I look at every line item, I'm asking a million questions. I am in Susie's office all the time, and I gotta tell you, if you ever have a question about the billing listings, she is phenomenal. She will stop whatever she's doing to answer your questions. She answers every question. Don't hesitate to reach out to her. It's a blessing that we have her with us. She's doing a lot of work to help us get through this. But I am paying attention and I am learning and I am asking a million questions, like the pool that's coming up on.
Well, let me get back to this gentleman before we get too far off the topic of what his issue was. With respect to the bill listings, there's just an extraordinary amount of extraneous spending going on. We've got chairs going into the police station. I mean, we're upside down on our budget. We've got $1,400 in the crack being spent on parties at crazy poor. Like I said, I never went through this before and I am now, and so are many other people. There's a lot of expenditures, and I'm hoping that you guys will reduce the spending limit for absolutely everybody right now, since we're in such a pickle. But my original conversation was with respect to this gentleman. Anyone that's been in Gold Park for a relatively significant amount of time knows that we have chronic areas where these building owners are struggling. And I would just like to see more done to support those people with some funding. You know, can we do something to put together a fund and or a committee of people, including these building owners? It's the same areas, it's not the building owners, but it's the same areas. And if we can help them with whatever they need to help them with the security in their areas, and maybe it's the building owners, any residents that wanna be part of it, put a police officer in charge, the community service officer. Get these areas some support and some funding instead of having some of this money getting spent in areas that I think could be held off for the
How do we
future.
check
Let-
line items?
Let's let her finish first and let's finish and we answer it then. Go ahead, you done?
Yep.
Okay. We did attend again, the IML meeting, and that's where we discussed, and also one of the class was that how could you help local residents for some of the TIF money? Okay? Perhaps, they may need a help with putting a new roofing on, or something else that they cannot
Facade,
afford.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
called facade and
Yeah.
something. I
Yeah.
forget.
So there is we're looking into it. It's not written on stones yet, but we're looking into it. Perhaps something like that may help. But why going even that far? Let me see what we can do here right now as we are aware of some of the things, and we'll look into that. Okay, Christy, and then about your financing and so forth. One of the questions you had there was the last question. We are really looking into, perhaps there is a way that we can pinpoint certain things that I can't answer you right now, but like I said, email me again. Whatever you need, we will look into that.
Well, I mean, as long as these, whoever they are, I don't care who they are, anybody who is authorized to spend money on the village's behalf, as long as they have a spending limit, and we've raised the village manager's spending limit before, because so much stuff, Al can probably talk to this better than I can, because everything was having to go to the board, and finally you're just going, oh my God, let this poor
Yeah.
person use their brain and spend, and what we felt like they needed to, but now it's getting spent on extraneous things.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, well said. We will look into
Gas
that.
and groceries is all you should be spending money on.
Yeah, you have a question.
I have a question. So, talk about spending, that was just brought up. I have a couple questions afterwards. I mean, when I looked at the agenda last week, and I'm sorry I didn't get to see the board meeting last week, what's this fence going up around the police station? Why do they need that? They're spending $65,000 on a fence?
Because there is people coming into the police department's yard with the cars and whatnot.
It's
There's
public
people crossing
property.
through.
Well, not where the police
Not
cars
where
are.
the police
Not
car,
where the-
yeah.
okay, so understand something, when
It
you
is, but
look
there's
at,
some security risk there.
when you look at any other municipalities and their police departments, there's one of two things that they have. They either have a fence that goes around where all of their vehicles are, which includes the entrance of where they bring intakes to, okay, for safety. Or they have a parking garage, they have a garage where literally the vehicles go inside.
You go right through the whole park, you go like
So
the number.
we don't have either or. So we have to take in stages, putting fencing around that area to protect the vehicles, to protect the officers, to protect when they bring in people that they're taking into custody.
I thought they have that indoor garage area where they bring people in for custody. Because I actually was in there.
Right.
That's where they're supposed to go in there, you know? Like,
That's all fine, I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, they do have it. That's
But
where
they
the
have,
intakes in.
but they have vehicles that are parked outright, so.
So, they got cameras, they've got a sign that says authorized personnel only, but it is public property. And if somebody wants to walk through it, they can.
Police right on the side.
Yeah,
We
Oh,
have,
I'm like over here, over here. So let's
I'm
just-
losing
let's go
something
one
here
at a
because
time.
you talking, he's talking,
Yeah,
everybody else, I
I'm
cannot.
trying to catch words in between.
I don't wanna lose control over
In
here.
my opinion.
Too late. About 20 years
That's
too
one of the
late.
purposes for that specific area, that's where they bring in intakes and so forth. And then, I mean, I go up and down the Western Trail all the time during the summer, whenever I can, stuff like that. I've never, I haven't seen anything, but they also have cameras out there as well. So I just think, is it a nice to have or is it a need to have?
I
That's
think
kind of where
from
we're at right
what
now.
what they're saying it's a need to have, and then understand that every department has a budget, you know what I mean? Like, so with the budget, and I've suggested, that Susie is starting that, each department has a budget, and no department should be allowed to go over that budget. I don't care if it's $2 over, okay? So if your budget is, let's just say 500,000 for the police department, starting in January, I requested, being told, each department has this much to start. Okay, now at the beginning of February, here's where these departments are all at. This one spent 100,000, they have 400,000 left. This one spent, so that way, as the months go on, we can catch these departments and say, hey, you're already at like 90% of your budget, and you still have 4 months to go. You better do some big cutting back, because you're not gonna make it, and we're not giving any more money out. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess they have budgets, but do they have to spend it? They will.
They will. If the police department feels that that is a huge need for them and it's within the budget, then we have to understand, we hire people based on them thinking they're gonna do their job, they know their job. We can't micromanage the whole village, nor is it our job. As trustees, the only person that we are in charge of is the village manager. The village manager is in charge of everybody else. We can go and talk to staff, we can request things from staff, we cannot dictate staff on anything to do. We have to go through the village manager. Unfortunately, that's the way the chain works. I would love for it to be different, but it's not.
If they want to spend money, they don't.
If you don't spend every dime of your budget, they're afraid they're gonna get their budget cut the next year. So they'll have parties, they'll have all sorts of stuff.
There's a lot of things that each department needs, and they're gonna have to see what they need to function for that whole year.
But it's
Their
only
budget.
gone up.
You know what I mean?
If-
So if
if I
they
just
feel
may-
they need a fence for safety and to keep some people out and some of the traffic out, don't forget Public Works is there too. You know, they're working over there in that area as well.
It's a nice area, it's not.
If I
That's what
may,
I'm saying.
Right.
It's
But we're
not-
not police officers, so
But they're
for
police
us-
officers, so why do
So
they need?
for us to
No.
say, for us to say a fence is not necessary for them, I mean, we're not doing their job. They know what they need to perform their
There's
job.
never been a
There's
fence
never
there, why
been-
is there
there's
such
never
a
been- They're police officers, but look at where police officers are sitting right now. Every time they do something, they're the bad guy.
Mhm.
So you can't just say like,
I
you
get
know,
it.
they're trying to make it easier for them too. They can't just be like, oh, somebody's coming through the lot, like, hey, you know, like shoot them. It doesn't work that way.
I,
Just because they're police
if I may add,
officers.
if I may add to all this, I understand your concern,
Mhm.
but you know what? As a resident and also as a trustee, my job is to keep our police and fire at the top shape,
Yeah,
okay?
safety's
So
our
we have a
top
budget,
priority.
we have a budget, which we looked into the budget and the $60,000 or $70,000, that's not the exact amount that what we're discussing right now. It was a lot more when they presented to the budget. And let me finish. We looked into that and the legit was that whatever necessary they need, we will approve that. So I'm very happy that we gave them the fence.
It's not just the fence though, because I even asked the same question, like I called, Chief Kubish and I said, come on, man, like, I know I can find a fence company that can do a fence for cheaper than 65,000. It's not just the fence, part of, the county's concrete needs to be dug up or something to put the fence in over in that area, and we have to fix it then once we bring it out. So there's other costs involved in that I didn't realize just from seeing, like, I see a fence and a line and I'm going, no freaking way for 65,000, I'll do it myself. you know?
Exactly, no, that's exactly, you were at traffic and safety before, you know what it takes. You know what it takes for, in the case of emergency, when the police vehicle need to take off from that police station, if there is let's say if something happens to that car, they cannot get to you. So that is appropriate that we need to have that fencing done. And believe me, I am very proud that we did that. I mean, I'm okay with that spending. We cut so much budgeting, we have looked at, you guys know when we took over the board, how much of disarray we were in. I mean, just don't say that you don't know.
Let's
Wait,
just-
believe,
Truth is
wait
in
till
the numbers.
you see, wait till you see certain things.
Truth is in the numbers.
Yes,
Christine,
the
you
numbers
are-
are gonna speak for themselves, just wait for the other things to come up.
It's not
So-
finger pointing, it's not.
She has a
finger
question.
pointing, it's
Go
just-
ahead.
We're not saying the board members are bad, we're saying that the management was bad.
Correct.
So the
Money
management
was
was bad, there was
managed.
definitely problems with the numbers. I've
Money,
seen
money
them.
was mismanaged and a lot of big
There were
mistakes.
issues with numbers, but that's okay. All I'm saying is when we do this fence, and obviously this is on the Great Western Trail, I wanna make sure it looks presentable and nice, and we don't do
It
it on
will
the
be.
cheap, because
It-
we do a lot of things, and I won't even go there for my favorite buildings in the neighborhood. We
Well,
do
that's why
things
we
just
have
to
this-
get them done, we don't do them right.
Yeah.
So let's do them right and well if we're going to do it, otherwise don't do it.
Well, that's why we have this coffee with the board, so you can express your concerns and so forth, and believe me, we are not taking this lightly, that your concerns are valid concerns. And as a board, we are looking at it, what is needed, so we're not out there just writing a check every time, like you brought up. I know, I'm sorry, you know, hey, you know what, I'm right here.
I think Vicky had two more
I have
things.
two more questions.
So go ahead.
I've been patient.
Yes.
So, one, obviously with the breaking of the union, why is the entrance to the Great Western Trail part of that whole, I mean, you guys have blocked off the whole section of it.
They're disconnecting utilities, all the
Yeah,
gas lines and
Okay,
everything like
that
that.
would be nice
It's
to know,
just-
put something out there so people
It all
know.
has to be out.
Because people don't know, and going along that, actually it's probably three things, sorry. But along with that, like there was a water main break, I think it was last Sunday, I believe, not one thing on social media, nothing. I called the police department and I found out, and I put it on what's happening, does it affect my motor?
I'm the guy who stopped the cop and told him park in front of it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a
Stop it,
geyser.
hello, guys. There was no communication whatsoever, no communication it was down, no communication it was back, zero. It's like to all these residents on the north side, and of course, what do we feel about people on the north side? They feel like they're left out.
All right, so
And they're
Just to that,
Sharon,
I did
I think we will address that, definitely your concern is valid, because I know some businesses, they end up closing their business because of that break. And it didn't happen one time, it happened twice. As you know, the weather is such a nice weather we have so far, I mean.
Oh, no, I get it, it's fine that
So-
It was
it,
up and running
we
pretty
just
quick
need
though.
communication.
Yeah, they quit
Where's the
pretty,
communication?
It was up and running.
Mike
Yeah,
State Market
yeah.
put up a post saying the mill was blocked off, why is Mike
Right.
State Market?
And they should, because there's no communication, and that's part of the problem. And I'm not trying to
I think
harp
that
on
the
them, but
communication, I think when people say there's no communication, they're looking into like what's happening in Villa Park, Illinois Moms.
but that's not,
And that's not where it's posted, it's posted in the
It's
Villa
not
Park.
listed on
no, it was not posted on the web, on the social media.
social media.
two things.
And that's what people go
I
to.
know,
That's Riley, so
They don't
I'll
go
get in
to-
touch with her.
They don't go to, hey, say, they don't really go, they'll go to their phone, to
I had
Facebook and
another-
start looking at it.
Resident just said to me, like, not everybody has Facebook, so we can't all see the, you know what I'm saying?
But
But
I mean, they
here-
gotta do,
here what
I
happened.
get it was
Yeah.
a Sunday, so I think part of it was also, it's a Sunday, but you know what? Hate to tell you, your job's 24/7.
no, but here's the thing, no, let me come back to you.
Well, no,
He
it's
said,
not.
okay,
Nice.
But
may I, may I, okay, so here what happened. I know the water main was broken,
Yes.
and you tell me, what do you want me to do first? Go on social media or fix it? You
Yeah.
said that was fixed properly,
Well, no, you
social
have to be
media,
able to-
let me finish. So what happened is, the problem was taken care of. It happened on a weekend,
Yes,
okay? So if you want me to go on social media first and fix it, then we have a problem. So it was taken care of,
But
but
the-
yes.
The guy
it could-
fixing it doesn't go on social
There's
media.
two different
It's
things.
public
here.
works,
So,
they dig it up,
Public
they get,
works goes to that.
who's pushing the
Sure,
button?
but let's get some, let me just say
I
something.
thought it was done
Let me
very
just
well.
say something if I may, okay? Let's be realistic here. Everybody in here's worked a job, right? We've been working
Not a day in
our
my
butts
life.
off in our entire life. You work at a company, you work at a business, whatever, you get X amount of days off, you get your lunch hours, whatever. Tell me if your boss kept calling you on a weekend to say, hey, it's Saturday noon and you're with your family and I get that, but I need you to do this report like right now for me. You'd be like, I'm off the clock, dude. I don't
If you wanna
think
keep
so.
your job,
You know what,
then do
it's
it.
not-
You have to understand, people have lives outside of this place, whether it
Public
be
works
being a
people
trustee.
that are on call.
There's
But they
certain
did.
people on call, but the lady who does
All weekend
our
long.
social media is not on call all the time.
But it's an
So-
emergency,
I
and you
thought
should be
you
able to
were
just say, hey, throw this up there, you should have something ready to go, information.
I don't know
There you
what's
go.
up
It's
with
not
the
that hard.
Nobody.
I
Right.
don't
I'm a
know.
marketer, I get it all. I
You
do it
want-
all the time.
You wanna take that responsibility?
I do, trust me, I know digital marketing, I teach digital
Yeah, I
marketing,
get
I
it.
understand that,
I
it's
get it.
not that hard.
But
All she has to
Vicky,
do is
not
go up
everybody,
and
it doesn't matter.
You want to be
If
volunteer?
I'm with my family doing my personal stuff on my time, I'm not stopping to put an email out. I don't care what you think, because I'm not getting paid for it, and it's my time with my family.
Then we
I
make
agree.
our lives.
You have to respect that. Everyone, just because it's a village job does not mean they are servants to every minute of every hour.
Then we have a broken process.
They're here to
That's a broken,
serve.
right, it's a broken
They're
process.
here
There
to
should be
serve
somebody
you,
on
but
call.
they're not
To
serving
do
you 24/7. But the on-call person is not in charge of public relations. There is two public relations people, and that's it. That's
cool,
most.
Alright, let's not make it into a kitchen
No,
discussion.
it's fine.
That's
That's
not,
fine.
it's
Like
what
that.
I'm just trying to say.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
No, I'm sorry.
One last
She
thing.
has another item.
Going back, sorry, to keep
All right.
talking on my social media, on the website,
Mhm.
it's really hard to find out. People have so many questions about what's going on with projects.
Okay.
I was having a hard time going back and finding out what was projects. I'm sorry, I mean, I hate to say it, I mean, I love Lombard's and what they do, and I know Michelle is overwhelmed, and they have a lot of things, and the website and so forth.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on, I get it, 100%. Though once you get it started and upgoing, once you get that first initial upgoing, it's easier to update, but they don't have the will, they don't have the manpower to do that. But you would eliminate a lot of questions if you had something with that information on there. What's going on with the union? Oh yeah, we do the groundbreaking, what's going on?
Yeah.
Even if they're not going to zoning or they need anything else, they're just, like, people that have questions, like, what's still going on with the place over on St. Charles? What's happening with that?
Yeah, typhoon, what's going on at
What's
typhoon?
going on with that?
Yeah, what
Nobody
is
knows
this
what those things
be?
are.
Again, she's talking, let her finish, please.
That anything on the websites or the social media pages or anything like that is not even Michelle House. Even
No,
if
it's on Riley.
It's on Riley and Lilly, which is public relations, and I understand where you're coming from, and I noticed that on the website, I think what you're trying to say is rather than have this box that kind of scrolls sometimes, you know, they have these little boxes down further at the bottom where it gives you kind of an update on this or that, maybe just a spot, like one of those circles that says like development updates or something that's a little bit more.
Yes.
And then it's, I hear what you're saying,
Yeah,
an easier
thanks for
way
trying.
of finding it on,
And it
and
needs to be-
I'm with you, our website is very hard to navigate.
Oh, it sucks, it's a.
Okay, that
And
was your
I'm just
last,
saying, it needs to be continuously done.
okay, that's your last question. because
Sorry,
we
I'm
gotta-
done.
No, don't be
I
sorry.
totally did.
I had three.
No, no,
All right, I
you
got
come
a
in,
quick one.
okay, Al,
Okay.
I'm sorry, well, you know,
my-
priority first.
My main reason for coming here today was the fact, a number of months ago, when we started talking about remodeling Fire Station 1 and moving them into the Parks and Rec building. And then after that is done, moving Station 2 and then
Correct.
remodeling,
Yes.
Station 2. I had talked to the fire chief once back when I was still on the commission.
Can we have a conversation here, please? Yeah.
And we talked about why are we doing that? Why don't we just remodel Station 1 like we planned, move Station 2 into the Parks and Rec, and that will be their station.
We have been discussing that.
And then knock that other station down.
We have-
It's too small. And if we have a main office for the fire department in the rec center building, they have plenty of space there to do more than that they do now. Right now, they're each in a little
Right.
box.
We just went over there and visited, for the swearing of the 3 new firefighters, so we went over there and we saw the temporary rooms. I posted pictures for people on Facebook. And we had very nice discussions. They like it over there. There's tons of room over there. They would love to stay over there. So we are having discussions and then we need to kind of just balance everything,
Well,
like,
it
is this
seems
a
like
good?
it'd be a lot cheaper to do that.
Right, we
than-
already own the property, there's
spent all
already
the
been money put into some remodeling,
And that building
some.
can be used for a whole lot of other things.
Correct.
For the fire department.
So we
and
are
others,
in
for meeting
discussions.
rooms, so there'll be plenty of room.
I agree 100% with you, and I'm
It's
all
just a
on
no-brainer.
board for that. We are in discussions, starting discussions of
Other
that.
issues.
That's the
Can
first
we-
I've heard of this. When did those discussions
What
start?
discussions?
On the possibility of using Iowa
It's
as a
on-
permanent
It
state.
hasn't
It
been
was
a
unofficial.
formal
It
discussion.
wasn't, it
Unofficial,
wasn't
back
formal.
what?
It wasn't.
It's
this is the first I've heard.
backdoor politics.
They just, wait a
It's
second,
Get the story
Hey.
straight.
wait a
That's
second,
what I'm
wait a second,
Can we
wait a
have an order
second,
here,
come on.
just a little bit?
That's
Let's-
order. I was
We
answering.
have
I know,
to-
I know.
Yeah, but we can't all talk at once, and then we can't
I
hear
have a
what
hearing
she's
issue.
saying.
meeting.
So,
Oh, no.
these are, this,
Dale was saying this
this-
went way back. I wanna know how far back it went.
I don't know about him.
I
From
wanna
his
know about him
discussion.
because
I do
that's
too.
the lack of
It
transparency.
was-
I was
without
born in
seeing.
1949.
Wait, but it's not a lack of transparency when one person who's a resident is speaking with somebody else. That's not lack of transparency. This just started. We just went there and saw the facility. We just heard about, could it be a possibility? Couldn't it be? We're just starting to talk about it, getting ready to talk about it. Nothing's been set in
But we
stone,
approved
nothing's
a ton of
been.
money to make that a temporary location.
Right, but that isn't even, the money that's been used for temporarily is there, and they are temporarily there, okay? So what we're saying is rather than then take the money for the other station on the north side and put it into that building, because that building can go nowhere. It can't grow any bigger, we can't go up, we can't go out, okay? It's always gonna stay that size. And to go in and spend that amount of money just to make it look froofy inside or updated and fix some issues, rather than take that money and move it over to Iowa and put it in with the money we already spent to temporarily put them there.
That's
we
fine,
could keep
there's
them there
no
permanently.
argument with that.
Yes, so that's,
It's
I'm
just
just
why all
explaining
of a
it.
sudden we've been talking about this for quite a long time, and then when we did the.
I can't answer, like, if it was
Building, we said
discussed
it's not
while
even
you
worth
were
Both
talking.
of us,
I don't know.
both of us just took, we are new at the board, number one. Number two is whatever discussions are taking place, that just, a discussion, there is nothing final yet. I mean, we can discuss, just like here, what we're talking
Right.
about.
It's
nothing
a
is-
rumor.
Well, I think
There
we
you
should
go.
talk
We
about it,
can't, we
I
can't,
think we should talk about it in March, because we're gonna have the meeting over there, so I think that's a
absolutely,
perfect
but
time to talk about it.
that's exactly why, you're 100% correct. That's exactly why Manager Rivas wants the meeting over
I
there.
love it.
Yes.
March's Coffee with the Board will be at Iowa Center for the simple fact that we can discuss that, residents can walk around and see the temporary assignments that are over there, the room that is there, the possibility of what it can be, so we can start then talking about that with transparency.
Can we
and-
ask for a proposed budget to be available at that meeting for what it's gonna take?
They still have to,
We haven't
hire a
even-
commission and
Yeah,
say how
we
much
haven't
has to be
even,
done.
we haven't even started that
Yeah,
route.
this is
First, we
rumor.
wanna discuss whether it's a possibility. Right now, anything for that fire station on the north side has been put on hold, okay? Everything's being done over here first. So that's why we wanna discuss this now before that topic even starts to come towards us.
And maybe it's the communication style of the way it came out, because I've been around a little bit as far as conversations are concerned. And all of a sudden, this just came like out of the air, and it
Yeah.
was like, when we talked about making Iowa the permanent rec center, there were a million things wrong with that building that it couldn't be a rec center, and now we're talking about making it into a fire station. So I'm not opposed to it, and personally, I don't even.
Hey, blame Al for everything,
I
he's the
don't
one who
know.
brought it up, not me, I'm just talking about something else.
Now,
How long have you lived in Villa Park?
in,
Too long.
in all honesty,
No, how long? How many years?
40?
40? I'm at 37. How long you live here?
I'm at 68.
68?
69.
You guys make the,
Well, I'm just saying, we got all this new stuff. I mean, we got grants
Yeah.
for new fire
Right,
trucks and
there's
everything.
different
When I first got
possibilities
here,
If Al's in favor of it, I'm
the fuel tank fell off with the fire truck.
Oh,
going
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
you saw a lot longer than I have.
A lot new.
all I wanna say is this. there is some talk of it. It hasn't been made public yet because.
just did.
Right, well,
Rumor.
it's
on
not
the
that it
website.
hasn't been made
It's-
public. You guys can't
No,
take like,
it's
you
on the
don't
website.
dissect
It was in
every
the
word
manager-
out of a
It was
sentence.
in the manager's report.
Let's-
Manager-
I
hold
can't
on.
hear anything because there's too much going on. I'm
Let's-
sorry.
let's-
Wait. Say
It
that
was in the
again.
manager's report this week.
Correct.
That there was
Correct.
stopping that.
Yeah.
So-
Yes. So it's
I talked
something
to
that
the
we're looking
Fire
at.
chief 4 months ago when it was coming up after a commission.
Mhm.
Yeah, you were
Not
the
formal.
liaison.
It was
Right.
not part of the formal meeting.
Right.
So it's just a sidebar.
Right. Yeah, no, and you can't say that it's not that we're not being transparent. It hasn't even been a full-blown discussion.
That's right.
Not even all the other trustees knew. You know, if you went and you visited the facility,
Not all of them were there, yeah.
but you gotta
Cheryl, let the
understand,
record
we're
show
here
that
talking
Al's the,
right now. We're all
informer.
here.
He's
Wait,
the lead.
excuse me.
Raise your hands, please.
We're all here talking right now, but we're not gonna go and post on social media so every resident knows exactly what we talked
It's
about.
already in the
Because
It's
we
your
need to be transparent. I mean, we just can't do that. We're just a group of people here talking, that's it, you know what I mean? Transparent is
I'm
what
just
the
giving you
board
my
is sharing,
opinion,
the
that's
board's
all.
knowledge, not just a
Yeah,
bunch of
board
residents
meeting.
sitting
So,
around and talking.
You don't read about it.
All right, so
That's
one more
important
thing.
because we have to
I think we're done with this, so let's, we
All right,
just
so
get
I
getting out of hand.
totally,
No.
I just totally wanna chip and leave you guys with a piece of homework here.
Uh-oh.
I recently noticed that on the billboard over by Motel 6 between the old Bob's Discount Furniture and Motel 6, there's an ad for the Villa Park Recreation Center.
Okay.
I'd like to know whose idea that ad was, what the term for the commitment on that billboard is, and how many memberships do we have to get from that ad to pay for the advertising?
The same
Well,
amount
I-
that we
okay,
need
no, go
for the
ahead.
I
hemp
have an
store.
answer to that,
No.
because I was on the board when that billboard went up. With the billboard company, we're allowed, the village, a certain amount of the exposure on that board for free.
No charge.
No charge.
Good. So answer. Okay, good now. Go ahead. I know you've been very patient. I want to hear from you now.
Okay, so the reason I'm here is because on 2 things are coming up.
Everybody has to
Meeting on
do 3
Monday,
things.
okay?
We got more than
Yeah,
First
let's
of
let her
all-
speak.
First of all, you just brought up the budget, big things on the budget. You've got very big items on that budget for vehicles being replaced. I understand you also mentioned that you have a loan and everything else. But you need to clarify a lot better for the people of the village on where they're going to get the extra money for besides your loan.
Right,
Okay, the other thing is.
I can answer, let me answer just a
Fine.
minute.
I just want it brought up on Monday so that the people.
Okay, not a
very
problem,
clear.
because I already asked the chief that.
I want it more clarified, that's all
Okay.
I'm bringing up there. I don't need an answer now, I want it clarified for the people of the village. The second thing is, you're going through adding a subcommittee for the new village, Villa
Yeah.
Fest under that subcommittee. Now, are you also taking the budget that used to be for Summerfest and handing it to the fund commission to do that? Is there a budget in it? There should be a budget, cause I know the park and rec,
From
it was
my
only park and rec.
understanding,
For the Summerfest,
that-
used to be Summerfest.
My
Now-
understanding is that commission will only be in charge of that event, period. So,
Whatever.
I would assume, but we'll confirm, because I don't wanna make an ass out of me or you. I will confirm with President Patrick, I would assume that those funds would go to the subcommittee, not the fund commission, because those are separate funds for that particular
Okay,
event.
because you're making a subcommittee under the fund commission. I have to listen to that.
Well, that's to
thing again.
facilitate
Under
Leslie.
the, I'm sorry, under the fund commission, you're making this subcommittee, but the fund commission, from what I understood, and I'm gonna listen to that discussion again with it, because from what I'm understanding is the fund commission's going to be in charge of this subcommittee, which means they're in charge, sorta,
No,
of
they're-
the village thing,
Look at
even
the
though it's
ordinance,
under
look
a
at the ordinance,
subcommittee,
look at the ordinance.
because you've got the fund commission and the village commission doubled up. You've got members from both, on both committees.
So
For the
that,
subcommittee,
that
which is
subcommittee, the way it was explained to myself, is that they are only going to be in charge of the whole year planning out, and it's gonna be called Villa Fest, cause we can't call it Summer Fest
Right.
or we'll get sued. They're gonna be the ones planning out Villa Fest.
Well, they're
And
way
that's-
behind.
But you've got
Pardon?
each, you've
No,
got
they're
the
way
same
behind in
people
their
on the same
timeline
thing.
because
I'm
I
sorry.
talked to the rec center Friday and they usually have the trucks for that engaged by January.
Okay,
So.
I don't
rec
know
center-
about that,
Excuse me.
I'm just answering the
let
question.
me finish talking and then you
No,
can.
I'm not on that commission, I'm
Okay.
seniors in Garden Village, so.
I got you.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a lot of clarification if you're going to do this approval. I saw the
Yes,
things that.
I noted it, and I
But
will
there's
get
a
that
lot of
answer.
confusion on if you're doubling it because of subcommittee. Are there gonna be other people added to the subcommittee? Because he tried to do it as a separate committee.
No, there's gonna
and
be,
it
there's gonna
didn't
be a
work.
representative, I believe, a representative from what conversation was beforehand, from what I, if I understand correctly. There's gonna be a representative from the fund committee on the subcommission with other new people to be this actual commission that's just in charge of only Villa Fest.
Okay, because
That's
my
all they're gonna be
understanding,
planning is Villa Fest, and because it's such a big,
Okay.
event, yes, we're off to a little bit of a late start, but this is why this commission will be solely doing that, only so they'll have the whole time to just plan that out.
okay. My understanding was they tried to do it separately and that's why it is now going to end up under the subcommittee
Send me an email,
For
send me
the
an email, send me an
fund
email.
committee because they couldn't get enough people to do just the
Right.
Villa Fest by itself. Now, there's a budget for that, which a lot of people are concerned on what that budget is, if they're gonna stay within that budget, and if this time they can, whoever this committee is, can make it a little profit off of it instead of a deficit, which has been going on
We are
for quite a
very, yeah,
few years
no.
with the lack of funds.
Correct.
So these are some of the things.
These
See,
are
I can't ask
answers,
these
yeah, see,
questions.
a lot of that is gonna come in after the commission is established and the
Okay.
commission is given their
So-
budget. These are questions you're gonna wanna ask then.
Cut.
Are you gonna
Okay.
be able to stay in your budget? Are you gonna be able to make something off it? Are you gonna break even? At least to where we're not digging you out of it, you know what I mean?
I'm just bringing it up here because
Yes,
I
I
can't
got you.
bring these questions up at the village meeting
No, but you
because that's being
can,
made
but
very
you
clear.
can at the fund commission and once this commission is established. With that being said, really quick, if I may jump off topic, just because I don't want people to leave before you guys hear this. One of my commissions is the seniors commission. We met with Willowbrook High School, Jean Barbanetti, the other day, and we are combining with the high school to offer a program called Adopt a Senior in Villa Park. The program will
Well,
consist.
you're in luck.
The program will consist
Number
of,
one.
some of their students, and I will be reaching out to, the, Boy Scouts as well to see if they would like to jump on board. The program is to start to help like seniors who are by themselves that can't handle their snow removal and or grass responsibilities, leaves pickup and stuff and so forth. So, in our next meeting, that is the first Monday of the month, we will be discussing how we're gonna go about getting people's names and phone numbers for this. Understand, this list will go no further than the commission and the high school. Your information will not be handed out otherwise, anywhere else. But this list will be a list then that we will hand over to the high school and they will buddy a senior up with a child and, we will start some services.
Will they have Raoul the pool boy over?
I don't know about Raul,
Well,
it might
could
be
you-
Jose, but we'll
I'm
see.
saying.
So that's
That's great
kind of
stuff.
something I wanted to share with everybody. We're trying to make some great strides with our seniors this year. Another amazing thing that I need to give credit to Willowbrook for is that the SALT meetings. The seniors commission pays for the luncheons and we have a very small budget this year that pretty much wasn't even gonna get us through all the SALT luncheons, let alone anything else we wanted to accomplish. So we spoke about that with Willowbrook and the struggles that we're having, and they have decided they're going to sponsor the December luncheon for SALT. Not only are they going to pay for the food, they're going to send their culinary kids over, as we discussed, to cook the food, serve the food, spend time talking with the seniors. One of the teachers is going to dress up as Santa Claus. I'm going to see if I can get the chorus and or music kids to come over and do some carols, and we're going to have an amazing Christmas themed SALT luncheon that time. SALT is seniors and law enforcement together or something like that. So it's a program that the police department does with the seniors. Oh, okay. It's a wonderful
gotta be a
program.
senior.
I am a
She is a senior, and there's a luncheon. It's free. It's free. You can come and have lunch, and what happens is our representative liaison Sonia gets speakers. So speakers will come and they'll talk to you about like credit fraud or solicitations, and there's always a speaker of some sort. So you have it starts at 10 o'clock, and there's coffee and donuts. And then the speakers come in at 11, and there's like 1 or 2, and then noon starts lunch, and then it's over by like, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock.
What day is
something like that.
scratch the donuts, make
Let
it
me
bread
get my.
muffins.
It's on the website also.
The next one is March. March 10th at the rec center is the next SALT meeting.
It's a good.
It's very informational. They have a blast there. I gotta tell you, I love, this is my favorite, and I hate to say that. Don't put that on the record. This is my favorite commission. This is my favorite commission. I requested to be on this commission.
How many people usually show up?
There's like 60 people that show up for this. It's a lot of people.
Seniors like.
This March is we're going to be doing St. Patrick's theme, so we're going to be having corned beef sandwiches. So you're gonna, you said you dress up as one. So we're going to be having corned beef sandwiches and whatnot, and maybe a cup of soup and some dessert.
Okay, because I go to the York Township Senior Center, and they have never said, hey, this is available, but can you contact them? They probably don't know. Yeah.
They may not know, so that's
Yeah,
the thing. I will
them.
definitely reach out to them.
Say, advertise it.
I think it's for
Senior
Philip
meeting,
Park.
last month.
Oh, yeah, they can put out Bill
Yeah.
Huckro's now.
Yeah.
Or your township,
Yeah.
that's part of the park.
I know
Yeah.
you're on a secure site.
She's doing a good job there. I attended a couple of those meetings.
Invite the Girl Scouts too.
Yes, yes. I don't have a contact for them. If you could, do you know someone?
You need one?
I have a Boy Scout contact that I
Need a Girl Scout one.
Yes, I need a Girl Scout.
Would you know?
I'll email you.
Kevin sent me.
Well, see, what do you think? You know, isn't it better than talking instead of over there than here?
Yeah, this way.
I hate this. This is not, yeah.
It's better because if I wanna get to you, I can get to you quicker.
You can, you can try it.
It's all there.
You can try that, man. It's okay.
No, reason why I asked how many years you guys have been here, Doug, is because now, with the last tax bill, I'm paying more in taxes and in insurance than what my mortgage was.
You also have a senior.
I do.
Tax.
I don't have the freeze, but I have the exemption. The freeze is if you make under $80,000.
All right.
If you can, just email it.
You have a question, she had a question, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up, whatever. You have 2 questions again? Okay.
Someone had asked me about the groundbreaking over for the union, and it was not put on the website, no.
I asked.
Nobody knew about it. I
Say
brought a
this
lot of
again?
people there, from what I could see from pictures and stuff.
I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I put it on my personal
I
thing.
went onto the
I
website, because somebody
thought
asked me
it was
about it.
on there.
I went on there to look to answer their question, and I could not answer their question because it was not on the website.
I never
And then
saw
I didn't know if maybe it wasn't for the public, so I.
You have internet?
Okay,
Okay.
the other question I
Never saw
had was, on the fence, back to the fence. This is just phase 1 of the fence, the $65,000, correct? So that's not even going to include the fence that's gonna be along Ardmore where the traffic is coming through.
That's gonna be a different phase.
Correct, so now we're
That
spending $55,000
phase
to put up a fence.
Mhm.
And we still can have people driving through. Cause you said that's the
Driving,
reason they're doing
correct.
this, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other question is how many police cars have been damaged being parked over there that we have to put up this fence? Cause I think it's gonna be kinda ugly looking for the Great Western Trail.
I've lived in Villa
Better look
Park.
pretty. Long Island doesn't have anything around their cars, nothing, their cars are out in the wide open. I don't understand why we have to give a fence up here, and again, you know, they have the inside things in case I go out of the car, and they're next to the police station. So,
And cameras?
and cameras and everything else, so I.
And it's a police station. The police are there.
I've lived
That-
here
that's not
my
my question.
entire life. I mean, literally, born in Elmhurst Hospital, brought over to Villa Park.
Oh, you're a
And
transplant.
so I've probably lived here longer than anybody in this room. Never once have I read in any newspaper, cause back when, you know, there wasn't social media, that there was a problem with a car being damaged in that parking lot.
I'm sure it's not.
Never.
It's not
Well,
just.
But it's
anything being
ridiculous.
okay, so.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, may I,
From coming to the foot traffic, cutting
Ridiculous.
through and whatnot
Well, but
as
they're
well.
cutting through, what's,
Yeah.
what?
let me say something. When you were born, we didn't have internet.
That's what I'm saying.
Nope.
There's no
Okay,
reason.
so now we are living in a different world. Things
So,
are, things are different, so we have to think of it in a different set of eyes now. I understand what you're saying, but believe me, that whatever spending we are doing right now with the police, it's, we can make a difference, it's okay.
There-
We're not gonna be agreeing on everything else, but at the same time, we are not spending this without thinking about it, okay, so there is.
you go by Lombard's police department, their cars are all over in their parking
You can
lot.
drive through.
You
there,
can
get
drive
over.
through
Are we
it, you
Lombard?
can
Are
walk
we
through
Lombard?
it.
Are we Lombard? Let me see.
Yeah.
Are we Lombard? We're not Lombard.
Everybody, because I wanna say,
Okay.
and
I don't care.
The one time I didn't bring my laptop, I should have brought my laptop.
Okay, so,
But I
so,
wanna say, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there's a grant for the fence, so it's not
yes, it is.
costing us $65,000.
I think
And
that
when you
that
get,
was in the paper.
yes, when you get a grant, you have to spend it
No,
on
I
certain
get it.
things.
And fine, get a grant, pay for it with a grant. But
It is.
I don't
What's
believe
it gonna look like?
taxpayer
But
money should be paying for it at
understand
all.
that with the grant, we do have to put out some of our own
Well,
money.
then get rid of the grant, give it back.
You can.
You can't
Might
just
be a
do
fine
that.
Can I make one comment?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
Get a grant.
So I'm a Lombard resident, so Lombard does have a garage you can drive onto the police station. The second thing is, I understand it's not expensive, but in terms of the police's opinion on it, the detectives do park back there, I don't know if you guys know that, they do have their detectives. And so they're on the street dealing with the element that we probably here don't really see. It is almost like a safety issue for them too, 'cause I know the detectives come out in their cars, I know which cars they have, because I deal with them. It is kind of they're out in the open over there too, so I understand why they want the
You
fence.
have to trust,
Yeah, I understand,
you
but.
have to trust, when we hire staff, especially our firefighters and our police department, you have to trust when they're saying they need something that's going to help with safety. Just because it's not something directly that touches you close to your home or whatever, or your personal use, you have to trust that they need that to do their job.
But I think
For whatever reason, we can spin it.
I don't have
any
blind
way
trust in the Villa Park Police Department because of incidents I had with my teenagers
Mhm.
back when a Villa Park cop tried to take an issue that was a public, didn't have an art school, and tried to throw it over to the high school.
Well, I can tell you this.
So I don't
I
have
can
blind
tell you
trust
this.
in Villa
I can
Park.
tell you this, okay, and not that I have to share my personal life with anybody, but I lived in Addison before I moved to Villa Park. I moved to Villa Park because I went through a divorce and it was a domestic violence situation. My kids had a DCFS representative against my ex-husband. I had orders of protection. I got zero help in Addison. The police, I knew every police officer in Addison, had all their numbers. They were at my house 2 to 3 times every night. Every night. I'm not kidding you, okay? I came to Villa Park. I moved here. Nobody knew I had moved with my kids. I'm just gonna say that, okay? I had an order of protection, and a week later, I was at the corner where it used to be whatever convenience store, I think it was 7-Eleven back then at the four-way stop on Addison Road. When my ex-husband decided he was going to hit my car from behind with no headlights on or anything, it was late at night, sent me through the intersection. By the grace of God, a police officer was at the other side, stopped.
Because she's at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
But, so that's fine, let him.
Let me finish, because I'm not trying to make it.
It's not a joking
something
matter, it's not a
personal to me,
joking
I'm
matter.
not trying to make a joke of it, okay? Now, not only did one officer go, within 2 minutes, 10 other squads flew by as they were chasing, because he was eluding them, through the area where the Portillo's is. I was always, they came to check on me and my kids all the time at my house. They did everything they could to protect us that the other town didn't. All I kept hearing from Addison was, he's on the title to the house, he can be here, there's nothing we can do. All we can do is take him off the property, and if he comes back, just call us again and again and again. And I said, do I need to die before something happens? Because understand, an order of protection is just a piece of paper. That's all it is. It's not gonna save your
You need
life.
a
But if
better
the
lawyer.
police don't enforce it, you take them to court.
I can tell you firsthand that the police department here is by far one of the best police departments I have ever seen and lived in the town.
And then,
I understand you had a bad experience.
no,
I had
not
a good one.
a bad experience.
But-
5 teenage daughters, many bad experiences. They were misogynistic. They told me the high school should handle it, and I looked him in the eye and said, "You're a misogynistic jerk." And he's like, "You can't talk to me that way." I said, "The hell I can't. You are on my porch. I will say what I like to you. You can't arrest me for just saying it."
I can tell you.
Ma'am, can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
No, that's okay, go ahead.
Yeah. When was this now?
Oh, probably 10 years
long
ago.
time.
Okay, so is there the same police officer
Not
who was
anymore.
there?
I don't know, it
Okay,
may be.
So are we holding a grudge against them?
There is.
Yeah,
Okay, so then it's not their problem, it's your problem.
no, it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
No.
Nope.
Wait, let's not
Nope.
say that. Listen, I'm not gonna say that at all, I'm not gonna do
Nope.
that at all. What I'm gonna say is this. As much as you're bitter against them, I am against them, and that's something kind of.
Well, see, and right now it's
So
the
maybe-
Addison police that are doing exactly the issue you had with your divorce for my daughter.
See,
And
so
they have
time
given her a
changes things.
wonderful
See, time changes things.
protection.
So what we need, I think, as individuals need to do is just kind of sometimes let go of what happened in the past and move forward.
And I basically have, but you said blind trust in the police department that they need what they need. I simply am stating, I do not have blind trust
I
in
understand.
the Villa Park Police.
I
The
hope
fire department,
I hope that
absolutely,
changes.
I've got,
I hope
I've got
that
blind trust in the
All right,
fire
that's
department.
anything else?
So back to my $65,000.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Why can't they take that money, whatever it is, and get a officer or get a,
Security guard.
They make $100,000
for
a
the-
year.
No, for these people though with their building, give them the money to put the
Because
cameras out
again,
there.
it's.
The
it's
grant
a
is only for
grant.
1
It's a
year,
grant.
not for the rest.
I know that, I
And the grant
understand
is only for certain topics, we can't use a grant to hire staff.
Right, and if it's private property, the village
can't
use
cannot
it.
fund
Yeah.
cameras for his
Some-
Right.
you're
private park.
There's certain
Last
things-
question, you
that.
said something, you had a question?
The money that you
All right.
have to
Wait a
put-
second, please. Go ahead.
I was just talking about the money, you said that if you get a grant, the village still has to put some money towards it.
Right, and
That's what I'm
I
saying.
wanna say, I think it's 15,000.
Okay, so why
if I
couldn't they take
remember
that
correctly.
$15,000 and use it somewhere else? Instead
Because
of,
we can't.
You can't.
When you get a grant,
no, I'm not talking about that, I'm not talking about that. Say you don't get the grant.
no, we already have it. We already have the grant.
Okay, well, if you didn't have the grant, if you would have $15,000 sitting
We
in your
wouldn't,
fund,
the
that you
fifteen
could have
thousand
used for
wouldn't have been a
something else.
discussion at that time, because they need the 15,000 to satisfy the grant.
You don't understand what I'm
If,
saying?
no, I do. If had the grant not have been there, they wouldn't be coming to us for the fence or the 15,000. Because they have the grant, they have to ask for certain things. We already have cameras and
But then
whatnot.
they could have came to you, the board, with something else that they
They
wanted
could
for
have, but they didn't.
$15,000.
Yeah, but
Right.
they didn't.
Okay. Last question, because we also have to go home and take care of some other things. Go ahead.
I'll have to go to the bathroom. Question, why did we have a $1,400 crazy pork party for the police person that retired from the police and got hired into HR, not qualified, and yet we walked Gina Racanelli out with security and no recognition? We've got a rec center employee that was here for, I'm gonna say close to 30 years. She spent time at evening commission meetings, she spent time on the weekends at events.
I was here 25 years.
Can we talk, can we say something? Last question, because I
All
cannot.
kinds of time, I feel like that was extraordinarily disrespectful.
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
I said, why did we spend $1,400 on a crazy poor party for a police person that retired and got moved unqualified into an HR position in Village Hall? And we just walked Gina Racanelli out of her office with security with no recognition for all the time that she put in, all the weekends that she spent at village events. I feel like that was extraordinarily disrespectful.
Are you talking about the party that we just had?
Prior, some.
It doesn't matter how many do we have.
How long ago was that party?
And why are they
It
having
was
it in
this year.
another town and not Villa Park?
Couple
It
months
was,
ago.
I don't
Crazy
know when
Poor
we
is
put
Villa
him in
Park.
the HR
It's
department.
crazy for Villa
It
Park.
is.
It was when we put him in.
It was last month or this month?
When did we put him in the HR spot? That's when
When
it
did
was.
you
2 months
move the police?
That was
Three months.
that was a
3
few
months
months back. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll look into
that was 2025.
We'll look into that. Yeah.
Well, we pay for staff recognition stuff, and
We
then
do.
walk, and I understand the security aspect of it, because, again, when we have the economic development person, they have access to information that if we give them a lot of notice, you gotta be careful about.
Mhm.
So I get that whole thing. Parks and Rec, I don't know that I'm buying it, and I just feel like, I'm not for or against Gina, but I do appreciate what she did
Right.
and the time she
I
spent
don't
doing
think
it.
Don't take that personally that they're walking her, no, that they're walking her out. In my opinion, I think any employee who's let go, I mean, you have to make sure they're not taking things they're not supposed
Well,
to.
then why do we put that unqualified cop in our HR department?
I can't,
Again,
listen,
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
no,
no,
listen,
no,
that's a
Rita.
manager Rivas question.
Yeah.
We employ the manager only. I
Yep.
can't answer those questions,
Bring
unfortunately.
up your question of your budget. Why are we spending a huge amount of money to throw all these parties for somebody that didn't actually leave the village?
Well, we have the town hall,
Amen.
we've got, yeah.
But the town hall wasn't a party. The town hall is
The town
to,
hall was a waste of
is
money,
to-
and nobody showed up, but the problem, other than maybe 2 trustees, but the problem with it is just, again, it's very difficult, I think, because you gotta give these people some money to do their job. The problem is, they need to be more thoughtful about what they're spending money on, and people need to start paying attention to it and bringing it up. I mean, you can't take Rivas's entire budget away. You can say that every expenditure he makes has to be brought to the board. Because this
I mean,
heater in his office
what,
and
are we
chairs-
supposed to be like, okay, I need to buy
No.
coffee for the coffee machine, $50,
No, you know
like,
what it means?
so
It means
he-
you got the wrong
listen,
person in that
he
position.
has,
We talked about
he
this earlier.
has a certain dollar amount he's allowed to spend, now, if it's felt that that's too high of an amount, that's a
No.
different
It's not
topic
the
that
amount,
we
it's what
can.
it's being spent on.
we can certainly
Yes.
ask, we can certainly raise that question, and then we can wait for his
Well, I think
reply.
people, you and we had this conversation very early in the meeting. People are paying attention to stuff now that we never thought we needed to, and
Yeah.
honestly, we
Now
prefer not to.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to micromanage the budget.
No, nobody
That's
wants to
exactly what I-
micromanage
That's
it.
exactly what I said.
Nobody wants to micromanage it, but too, the more people that come out and voice opinion,
Matter.
it matters. It matters.
Yeah, well, like I
So,
said, it was-
it's honestly, it's great for those that are looking at it. I'm starting to look at it and I'm catching things. I may not ask tons of
I think-
questions up there. I ask questions, but
I think
some of
Carrie
them I
did
nip prior to up there, so.
too. Yeah, I think
Well-
Carrie does too.
Yeah, Carrie goes through the budget with a fine tooth comb. And I will tell you, she's the first person after Mika, or before Mika sometimes, Micah, that I will call and say, I don't understand this, and if she can't explain it to me, then we go straight to Susie, and Susie is available all the time. I mean, I've walked in to Village Hall, knocked on her door, and she said, what's your question, answered it, and I'm like, I'm out, and I leave. So,
Well, I'm not even gonna go there because I don't want to, and I've had enough for today, but that whole deputy village president title is being misused. That's only
I don't
to be
think
used-
so.
Oh,
yeah.
I know, so, look it up, it's only to be used when Kevin Patrick is not
Yes.
acting.
correct,
So
and
that's-
it only,
that's-
and it
that's-
only, but it only has.
It's on her card,
It's-
it's on the wall.
It's just a title. It's
No.
just a
She
title.
was an elected trustee, look it up.
Yeah, but then she
Just
was,
look it up.
no,
That's
but
all I'm
then,
saying.
then
Look it up.
she was approved by the board that
I
she is a
understand
deputy,
it,
so
but she was
she
not
has the
elected.
title, no,
Look it up, just look it up, I'm not
I
gonna
will.
argue with you.
Yeah.
I will.
Look it up.
I'll
You
look
know-
it up. I don't wanna argue, but I'll look it up. I will.
One thing I wanna say, you did a beautiful job by bringing all those questions to us. Thank you. Well, there were some of your questions and some of the residents. So, but at least you brought those to our attention.
Well,
We
what we
thank
want
you.
the board to know
Yes,
is that if the board chooses not to meet, it's not gonna stop the residents from gathering questions and providing.
I
From
walked
this
That's
into,
our
point-
only point with it.
From this point on, we did discuss, we did a pilot where it was 2 and 2, so that way it would be fair, so some trustees weren't the only ones ever showing up. We were trying to make everybody show up, and that kinda just nipped us, okay?
It's never
So,
been something
the
everyone
new,
went to.
the new way we're gonna do it now is we're gonna try a pilot of a sign-up sheet. So
And it'll
there
be
will
coming
be
up.
a
It'll be
sign-up
coming up.
sheet, I can tell you, I will try to be as many as possible. In the summertime, me and my husband do race, so on those days I won't be here because I'll be out of town, but any other day I will be here. This is one of my most important times for me because I like the back and forth question answer sessions we can have.
My whole point is, if we understand you're busy, we're also busy.
absolutely.
But the whole point is, this is our only chance to relay issues. And
Right.
because you guys are busy and can't make it, it's the responsibility of our village president to make sure these bills happen. If you guys are too busy to make it, it's his responsibility to be here.
I
It's
get
in
it.
his job description,
I get
I'm
that,
sorry.
but I don't think that,
And
and
I
I
understand you
will
guys are
look, I
helping
will
him
look
do
it
it,
up, but
but-
I don't believe that coffee with the board is a mandated thing that has to happen. It's a
It
thing
is.
that some not even all municipalities do it. Lombard just
I'm sorry,
started,
it is
they
in
just
ours
had their
though.
first
But it's
one.
with the
It is
president,
ours, though.
it's not with the
All right,
board.
we'll look
So
into it,
we'll
but
look
here's the
into it to
thing.
see if there's
Here's
an
the thing.
ordinance.
Did I
And it's
miss?
great that
I
you
missed
want to
everything.
pilot. I don't care who comes here, it just needs to happen.
You don't care? As I come here, I talk
I
to
do
you.
care, I didn't mean it that way, I just mean it needs to happen.
All right,
Whether it's
we
you,
are-
which I'm grateful that you're here, that you two and it, you both stepped up to say, yes, I'm gonna do it. But the whole point is
Sorry, Sharon.
that it needs to happen, whether it's you two every time, but it has to happen. If you guys get busy and something happens, then our village president
really
needs
pretty.
to step in to get it done.
He is gonna be sending another email out to all the trustees and see who's gonna be taking, which day they're gonna be taking, so this will happen. Unfortunately, because of the past two, coffee with the board, they were canceled because some of the trustees were canceled.
Then you need to step in and do it.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
well, here I am here, and I hardly missed anybody, as you know that, so I do care. You don't care, I do care.
I care a lot, this is important.
So I appreciate you guys, thank you very much, and you can see it's supposed to be only
An hour.
an hour, now we are
And that-
hour and 55 minutes into it.
Well, we're making up for last month.
We made up for the last one.
Do
And
me a
please,
favor, guys, come to the meetings, voice your opinions, like, you know, if this was a success, you know, come and say, hey, man, we had great coffee with the board, you know what I mean?
and we made up.
If you wanna know what's going on with something, you know, come and say it. We're discussing the pool fund again, because I'm not ready to make fun. The pool fund is that I had discussed, I had a conversation
We
with Cheryl.
voted at some time, 1% of that
Cannabis
cannabis
fund.
fund
going
should be
to-
going towards the pool.
Correct.
They put it in and it's
Yes,
not
rec
their fault.
center.
That was the
Recreation center.
previous village manager, we decided to put it in a recreational fund under our title of recreation, which 3 of
Oh,
us
okay, that's fine.
know for sure that was not what we wanted it under.
Right. Unfortunately, it was ordinance that.
Pool fund for the, to fix up Jefferson? Oh, for new one, okay.
So I have requested and am going to get us, as long as all the other trustees vote with me, a separate fund that this money goes to that is allocated only to a new pool for Villa Park.
Good.
From
Can't be
8
touched
a.m. up to
for
7
anything
p.m.
else.
Because
You won't live
One
right up here.
trick-or-treater at
You're
7
welcome to
p.m.
live longer.
Are you running
Well,
out of no
I'll,
space?
yeah, so,
I wanna keep it where it is, which is ideal.
Because, you know, 8 o'clock is one high school and something's
And I didn't get my train station mail for it to say I'm not.
Are you guys happy?
And it just sat there for a
Today's
while.
meeting was okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that we're not.
What I wanted to do was just have people hold up how many babies they had for trick-or-treating at 7 o'clock, but I wasn't able to get in.
I do it at like before they leave.
Well, there were very few people.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say how many they had.
Or send an email in if you want. I mean, you're certainly welcome to do that as well. So, are we adjourned?
We're done.
Okay.
Meeting is adjourned.
Okay, thank you. At 10:56.
10:56, thank you.